Moving tips.
Hey guys, it's your moving expert Danny Rosado here. Again, I want to remind you how many years of experience I have in a moving company. I have about good 15 years of a moving experience, and today I just want to give you insights and tips on how to make your moving way better and the procedures of what we have to do to make your life easy in this process. Let's go.
Moving tips.
So moving preparation tips. Tip 1, making a budget list and also making a moving list. Obviously, some people have 2 months, some people have 2 weeks to get all this stuff together. It's not the best thing to do. You always want to be sure that you got your funds right, and you always want to make sure you have your material right. Never rush a move. It never works out at the end. Tip 2, weigh the pros and cons of hiring moving experts. If you don't have any friends or family members that can help you out and make this process easier, you might want to look into getting professional movers. At the end, it might seem like it might be a little bit pricey, but at the same time, you have peace and comfort. You have to weigh these options because, again, you want your move to be as great as possible with no issues. And you can always ask the movers how and what to do when it comes to moving your stuff.
Moving tips.
Tip 3, you gotta make sure you send out notices before you move. You obviously gotta go and switch your cable, your gas, your electric. These are all things you wanna do first before you move. Obviously, it makes it easier during the time, and as you move in, you have all your essentials when you need it, and by the time you move in. Now I wanna go over a few packaging tips and tricks. First, decluttering your stuff. Obviously, there's some things that you never bring to your new house. You wanna get rid of these things in the beginning. You don't wanna carry it and worry about it towards the end. Get rid of it as fast as possible. Go through your checklist of things that you never even use that are in your attic, in your basement. Get rid of it. Get less stress. Tip number 3, set a timer and pack at least for an hour a day. The last thing you want to do is rush through your whole move. The stress that will give you will be unbearable. Try to go as easy as you can each day and do little by little, packing boxes, putting stuff away. Or like I said before, get rid of stuff. But never leave packing for the last minute. Make sure you do it ahead of time.
Moving tips.
Tip number 4, pack an essential tote. Basically, this means all the stuff that you're gonna use once you move into your new place. There's some things that you don't need right off the bat. You don't need books, you don't need other tapes and stuff like this. You just need your essentials, the things you use every day. Make sure you make a little tote of these things, so once you move in, you can feel more comfortable as the move goes forward. Tip 5, make sure you give each room a different packing color label. This will make it so much easier for movers if you hire them or family and friend members to deliver your stuff into each room. The last thing you want to do is stress about where's this box, where's that box. It should be labeled color-wise and at least room-wise, and you'll have a flawless move. Tip number 6, don't overpack a box. Last thing you want to do is actually pick up a box that's too heavy for you or the movers. It'll make them feel uncomfortable. It'll make anybody else helping you feel uncomfortable. Make them at least light enough for everybody to carry up and down steps or down floors. Make it easy, make it light.
Moving tips.
Tip 7, use the right size boxes. Things like books should always be packed in a smaller box. It's more efficient, less movement, and more able to be picked up and carried off. It'll make it easier on you, make it easier on the movers, at the same time, anybody else that has to pick it up. Make sure everything that's heavy is in a tight knit box.
It worked perfectly.
Tip 8, don't leave empty spots in boxes. Make sure your boxes are full. Obviously, if a mover picks up your stuff and there's things missing in it, things shift around, possibility of it breaking is highly riskable. Make sure if you have any foam, plastic of any sort just to fill in the gaps, it'll be more approachable.
Moving tips.
Tip 9, bundle all your breakable things like liquor bottles, glasses, even plates. Never just put these in boxes by itself. Always make sure you put a lot of padding, a lot of loose newspapers, or any kind of cushion that can protect these boxes from breaking all your products inside. At the same time, it'll save you money at the end. Tip 10, repurpose household items for packaging. Things like suitcases or maybe even hampers or small bins that you can use to fit clothes in. It'll make less packaging and less things for the movers to actually pick up in boxes. It won't mess things up, and obviously be a less clutter, less things to break up when you make your move. Tip 11, save space when packing clothes. Obviously, if you have clothes that are opened out and you put into boxes, they'll take a lot of room in your box or even in bins. Try that little trick, roll them up, make them smaller and fit them into a nice knit box. It'll make things easier and you can fit more things in one bin or even your hamper or a box in general. Make that essential to what you do when you move. Tip 12, label and take photos of furnitures and disassemblies as also as packaging. Make sure that anything that you take apart, you label before you take it apart, so when you move to your new place, it's easy to put right back together. This makes it real smooth for you to connect everything, and obviously it saves more time.
Moving tips.
Tip 13, not packing hazardous materials with other things that you have that you don't want it to get messed up. Things like fire extinguishers or even ammonia, anything liquid based, even acids, things that you don't want to mix up with your clothes, furniture, and it might cause damage. These things you always either do separately or even by yourself in your own car. Tip 14, packing up on materials for kitchen appliances. These are the things you really need to have. Make sure you have a lot of bubble wrap, a lot of newspapers, anything with cushion, because obviously this is your kitchen now. These are your plates and glasses for your friends and family that you don't want to ruin during the move. Make sure you stack up the most you can for this process. Tip 15, use plastic wrap on liquid bottles. Let's just say in general, your shampoos, your lotion, your toothpaste, anything like that should always be wrapped up in something nice to make sure it doesn't spill in the move. God forbid there is accidents that happen. You might step on it, you might drop it, but if it's shrink, it won't make a mess inside your new house. Tip 16, make sure to pack your jewelry in smaller boxes. Things like your own jewelry supply box, or for ladies, your purses. Never put in big boxes where things can get lost, drop out of the little creases when you tape up the box. These are the things that are too valuable for you to lose. Make sure you pack this into something that you always know. Maybe you might take care of it yourself instead of having the movers. Never know, right?
Moving tips.
First, you should start out by making a chart and list all the rooms with a certain color that you can list on your boxes to make the move faster and easier. This will definitely help in the process and will take no time to do. You should always get boxes that are a little bit thicker. Never get boxes that are really thin. This is not going to help anything inside this box and the contents you keep in it. You will want to make it thick enough and protected enough in case it gets bumped around. More boxes, more weight, less coverage. This will be a problem. So make sure this is one of your most important tasks. Also, garbage bags. You can stuff a lot of things in garbage bags and make it so much easier to move. It's easier, faster, and obviously less cost effective. You put your shirts inside, and then there's a little trick that you can help by flattening out your clothes inside these bags. Use your vacuum. Put it in the bag and suck all the air out to make it compact. Then tie a knot on it and it's good to go. You can also do this with your pillows. Stuff them into garbage bags and do the same process as with clothes. Vacuum seal it, take all the air out as much as it can. You put them into your box, tightly and packed. Make sure everything fits nicely. You close your lids and obviously put tape over the box to make sure it stays all intact. Make sure your tape is well put on. You don't want anything coming out of it. Then you mark the color on the sides of the box that correspond to where it's going to get dropped off at the location, and the number, just so you know how many boxes you have in your location, in your house. Always make sure you put on the sides. Putting it up top, it's only going to cause problems later when you stack up boxes up top, and you're never going to be able to find it. It will just make the time more consumed. You always want to make sure you have different sizes of boxes and want to put them in your room nicely so you know where and what essentials have in each box. So it's easy to mark them with what exactly are in each box when you mark them in the location that you want in your house. Tape them to the side of the box as usual with the color so you can easily tell what's in the box.
Moving tips.
Okay guys, I hope all the tips I give you in doing the moving and preparations helped you out today. And if you have any questions that you may arouse, please comment, like, or subscribe to the channel, and we'll get to you as quickly as we can. And as always, good luck with your move.
Moving tip.